Imagine buying an anime vampire action game and instead getting frame rate anxiety. Yeah, that's pretty much how some players are describing Code Vein 2 right now. And the crazy part, the game isn't even fully out yet, but early reviews are already creating serious debate in the gaming community. So today, we're going to break down exactly what players are saying, because this might be one of those games that launches into chaos, but could still become something great. Or not. Let's talk about it. First, a little context. If you played the original Code Vein, you already know the formula: anime aesthetics, Souls-like combat, dramatic boss fights, and deep character builds. It had its flaws, sure, but it built a loyal fan base. Now Code Vein 2 is trying to go bigger. Bigger world, bigger systems, more freedom. But as gaming history has taught us, going bigger also means more things can go wrong. And according to early players, some things already have. Let's start with the biggest complaint so far: performance. We're not talking about people running the game on old machines. One reviewer said they were using a ridiculously powerful PC, basically the kind of setup most of us only dream about, and some areas were still barely holding 60 FPS. That is not a great sign. Another player even joked that their computer is basically a nuclear reactor, and the game still struggles to stay smooth. Now, to be fair, not everyone is having these issues. Some players with high-end systems report only minor stutters and no crashes, so this doesn't look like a completely broken launch, but it definitely smells like a game that needs optimization patches, and probably fast, because nothing kills immersion faster than performance drops during intense combat, especially in a Souls-like game where timing is everything. Now let's move to the most controversial topic so far. Censorship. Yes, that word always starts arguments online. Several players claim that character outfits and customization sliders feel restricted compared to what they expected. Some even found it strange that certain NPC designs appear less censored than playable characters. Naturally, this has triggered debates about localization, ratings boards, and modern game design choices. But here's the important thing. Not everyone agrees on this. Some players say the changes are minor and barely noticeable unless you actively go looking for them. So whether this becomes a long-term controversy, or just early internet noise, we'll have to wait and see. Another point players keep mentioning is the open world. Because yes, Code Vein 2 appears to lean into a more open structure, clearly inspired by the massive success of modern open-world Souls-like games. But inspiration alone isn't enough. Some reviewers feel the world doesn't always reward exploration. Big maps are great, but only if they give players a reason to care. Otherwise, they just feel empty, and that's a dangerous line for any RPG. Let's talk story and characters. This one is a bit mixed. Some longtime fans say the early narrative starts strong but loses momentum later. Others criticize certain characters as predictable, and in a game that relies heavily on emotional storytelling, that matters more than people think. Players don't just want combat, they want connection. They want memorable companions. They want moments. Still, not everyone is disappointed. Several players say the story pulled them in quickly. So again, we're seeing a pattern here: divided opinions. But now let's shift gears. Because despite all the criticism, there is definitely good news. First, combat. Many players agree that the fighting feels smoother and more refined than the original. Not completely reinvented, but improved in the places that matter. And for a Souls-like, that's huge. Build variety is another strong point. More weapons, more playstyles, more experimentation. If you love creating your own approach to combat instead of following one fixed path, this is very promising, and surprisingly the audio is getting a lot of praise. Voice acting, music, atmosphere. Some reviewers describe the soundtrack as an absolute delight, which honestly makes a massive difference in games like this, because the right music can turn a good boss fight into an unforgettable one. So where does that leave us? Honestly, Code Vein 2 feels like a very modern AAA situation. Ambitious, impressive in scope, but slightly messy at the edges. Some players are already recommending it. Others say you should absolutely wait for patches, wait for performance fixes, maybe even wait for a sale. And you know what? That might be the smartest move right now. Here's my take. Based on everything we're seeing, this does not look like a disaster. It looks like a wait-and-see game. The foundation seems strong, the gameplay improvements are real, but technical issues and design choices are holding it back. At least for now, the good news, those are things developers can fix, and if they listen to feedback. This game could easily grow into a fan favorite over time. But today, it's probably not a blind day one purchase. So the real question is, will Code Vein 2 rise after launch, or fade into the long list of games that released a little too early? Tell me what you think. Are you excited for it, or waiting until the dust settles? If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more honest gaming coverage, make sure to subscribe, because we're just getting started, and trust me, this year in gaming is going to be very interesting.